Hi there. In this video we'll be taking a look at the KAIWEETS KETS02 Intelligent Soldering Iron. A bit of quick info right here. So to insert a tip, remove the nut, insert tip, lock nut. Okay. We have the variant with 6 soldering iron tips in here and Europe power delivery adapter. This is the temperature range, this is the operating voltage range, so it will work on 12 volts inside your car, for example, which is awesome. 65 watts power delivery, USB Type-C connection on it. This is the size of the OLED screen. Yes, soldering irons do have OLEDs these days. And yeah, that's more or less. Let's get into unboxing in high speed. And we're in. And it has a really nice 65 watt gallium nitride, if I pronounce that correctly, charger. This really feels like it's a brick, to say like that, because it's really heavy for its size. So I will be testing the protocols that this can deliver, honestly. I'm quite curious to see what it can do. So off goes the protection from it. And we should be able to see here, probably it's only power delivery. Whoa. This can do a lot of various voltages. That's actually quite cool. So between both connections together, it can do 57 watts. Because on type A, type A, yeah, this one, it can do 12 watts maximum. But type C can do 65 watts. That's freaking cool. And this is the model number. Gallium nitride quick charger. Yeah, I know, I'm I'm really excited about the charger, but not so long ago a 65 watt charger was huge compared to this little thingy. Quite cool. Now let's go deeper in here. Okay-ish. And it's out. This is aluminium. Feels really cold. It's aluminium. Okay, so we have a protection for this. No tip installed. Let's see how the protection. I think it has some interesting locks in here. Rotate it, lock. Rotate it, unlock. It has a click to it. Okay. This is so your fingers don't easily slip and you burn yourself. This is the nut that you undo to put in the tips. Okay, I must admit this feels much more premium than I was expecting it to feel. Obviously, we need to unpeel this. Okay. Do we have anything in here? No, we'll see in a moment. We should have the tips in here, shouldn't we? Or maybe they are below. And this is just a placeholder for them, so we can put them in here later. Could be, because they are not here for the moment. But this is heavy. So the box itself is empty at this point. Let's see what we have in here. And I expect some manuals, maybe a cable, and some tips. Okay, so this little stand for it while you are working. Good to have one of those. Yep, the tips themselves. 6 types of tips right here. Are there? Yeah, we have the models depending on what shape they are right here. Okay, that's cool. type of connection if you want to see it. Good. This thing just drop. Put some water on it to clean the tip. This is now also empty. We'll get it out of the way. Bag also empty. Okay. Whoa, that's a nice feeling, just unhooking those thingies. This is a really freaking thick cable, but at the same time, I don't know if this comes on video, it's silicone, so for its size it's extremely flexible. Okay. Yeah, quite sturdy connection. Does wiggle a little bit, but I don't think that, let me see. No, not the connection itself wiggles, but the whole, let me try and show you. The whole PCB. So yeah, there's that. Maybe that can be somehow made stiffer, or maybe it's better to allow it to just wiggle a little bit to not destroy it. So yes, this cable is really nice. We'll be testing it with, I have a tester that can test chargers and cables to see what their specs are in case this cable does have a chip on it. Because for certain protocols, these USB Type-C cables have little chips on them to tell the devices what they can draw through the cable. Who knows if this has it or if it's a custom cable. This is an actual screw screwing into this in this faux leather or leather. Yeah, okay, I like what I see up until now, honestly. Also, this has a decent weight to it. I'm going to see which tip to break out and test first. Okay, this is the one that we'll be testing. Decently light, so it doesn't add too much weight to it. And why we're testing this one? Because I haven't played with one that has the tip this stubby on it. So to connect it, just push it in here and obviously tighten this. And obviously you can have your favorite tip in there and have this fully locked like that to have the text readable. Okay, I really like this thing. First thing, let's test this. And just as an idea, this is a 45-watt charger from Samsung. Quite a modern model, so don't get me wrong, this is not old, this is quite modern. But 45 watt, 65 watt. And the weight, it's more or less the same, but this one is much more compact, as you can see. So I really want to go in now and do the quick test with our protocol tester and see what protocols we get, because I might actually be using this also to charge phones. I like that it's more compact and it's better for travel, for example. Let's see auto detection on all protocols. Hopefully this will work. Okay, this has a bunch of protocols. So FCP, SCP is from Huawei, for example, AFC, Quick Charge 3, power delivery up to 65 watts, and also the old Apple protocol. This thing is a freaking beast. Let's see, can we go to power delivery and get more info? All of these things are supported. Plugged in the cable, let me see if it has an E marker on it. Test again. No, this is a nice cable, but does not have an E marker on it. So yeah, it's not obviously made for data, but also doesn't report itself. So it might not be that great for charging mobile devices, for example, because they might not know how much to draw over it probably just by testing and seeing what it can take before starting to drop the voltage, but not by reading the E marker in the chip. Let's have just a really quick look at the manual. Feel free to pause at any time. More or less I do have an idea on how to use this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, and yeah, from here on other languages I think start. There was a warning. Wartung, not warning. So we have German, Italian, and French I saw for a moment. I think it's Japanese also. Spanish, yeah, nice. And now, first power on, KAIWEETS. And is it? And I saw it draw 60 watts. I'm going to show you that in a moment. It seems to be varying a little bit. It is clearly warm. It is set to 300. Not really sure what's up with the display. Maybe, I think I know. It reads that quickly that it basically shows us all the tiny variations on the temperature of this little tip. So it shuts off power zone to keep it at 300. Others don't do this. They are not quick enough to, and you can see it's stabilizing much better at this point. And it's stabilized completely. And we are drawing. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Maybe I'm going to set this down. Not ideal situation, but I want to show you. Check the manual. Yes, to shut it off you just unplug it or shut off the charger or whatever. So turn it on. This is just in standby. It's not heating up. And contact 59, 59. And it's going down because it needs to draw less and less and less. And it's heated up. Way less hunting for temperature this time compared to the absolute first power on. So probably it did a bit of self-calibration and talking with the power brick. And yes, I'm not going to start soldering with it and stuff like that. But you will be able to see that in future videos because, yeah, I think I'm going to be replacing my go-to soldering iron, this little fellow, because this has a huge chance of me slipping and burning my fingers. And yeah, this one seems a bit nicer, doesn't it? Obviously it can melt solder. What do you expect? It's quite clear. But yeah, really nice device overall. But what I would still like to do is play just a little bit and see how this chunky boy behaves on really big ground planes. Is it able to handle them or not? Okay. Ooh. No, I must truly say I wasn't expecting it to handle it that well. Let's see this one. This is a bit, it has a heatsink on the back, so I expect this to go a bit harder because it needs to give a bit of heat to that heatsink. Man, it's still doing it. Look at this. It's doing it. It's okay, so this chunky boy is actually pretty strong. I like this. Let me just show you what we were desoldering. This thing. So all the heat was going into this, which is quite warm now. So okay, let's see something without that much mass behind it. We just need any moment. It is okay. I like this fellow. And the iron itself just a tiny bit warm to the touch. Okay, let me see something else. Here we see how much power it's using. So it's using just 5-6%. Let's see when I'm touching it to this. 22%. So barely, not even now. Doesn't need to go to 100%. Let's see on this one. I saw a 30%. I don't think we are conducting good enough in here. 30, 35 I think I saw for a moment. Okay. Nice. Had the curiosity that I needed to clear. Will this thing work inside my car with that charger? Yeah, it's working on 20 volts because that can deliver 67 watts max. So it can do whatever this requires. That's freaking awesome. I just need a longer cable if I'm working, who knows, in the trunk, or and that will probably drop the voltage a little bit, so the available power could be a bit lower, but I can use this thing in the car, which is freaking awesome. Working on a project, I realized something. What if this can not only work on the car charger, obviously being power delivery, but what if it can work on a power bank? And it freaking does. So this is fully portable, and not portable as in, I don't know what, 2 watt or 3 watt soldering iron with a tiny battery inside of it. No, this thing freaking charges. This thing freaking goes to high temperature. And what voltage? It works on 10 volts at the moment. That's what it requested from the power bank itself. Yeah, it goes to temperature a bit slower because, yeah, it's a lower voltage, but did you reach temperature? Oh, come on. It is starting to fume, so it is really freaking close. Yeah. Come on. You can do this. Do it. And it did it. It reached 300 degrees. So much slower because it's working on a lower voltage. This power bank, I don't know, I think it can do 15 watts or something like that max. So obviously 15, we are not getting the 65 watts out of this. But with a more powerful power bank, it could do much better. This one I think can do 22.5. But I don't know if it can work with this, honestly. Or is this just an input? This is just an input on this particular power bank, I think, if I remember right. It does have an output, but it's in the form of this thingy. So not extremely helpful, honestly, in this situation, but it did wake up. Let's see what voltage. Hey, on this one it's going to 12 volts. So it gets a bit more juice. The 22.5 watts that this can deliver. Yeah, it's a bit not so easy to handle, but if you need it, you can do it. So yeah, for sure, this is my new go-to soldering iron. Awesome. And that clears everything up. This is really nice, and just want to mention, this being silicone, it will not be burned by this when it's hot. Don't touch it anyway, but normally it will not be burned. Okay, this is still hot, so I cannot change it, but normally maybe this is, yeah, this is not hot anymore, because this is not really touching it when it's in here. Has a bit of sprays. I cannot touch this with my bare hand, maybe with a glove, hopefully. I could get it out, and in theory, now, oopsie daisy, I am able to put a new one in. Which one? I think, where is some scissors when you need them. Most likely this is the one that I'll be using vast majority of time. Although many people don't like these pointy types, they like chisely types. But I'm kind of used to this pointy one because I have my pointy and I have my chisel if I put it on a side. So yeah, and this also does not have any sort of orientation. I do what I need with it. And now tighten this on. Fully tightened. Locked and ready to play. So in my book, this is a win, and I now have a new favorite soldering iron. So thank you very much, KAIWEETS, for sending this in. Will be put to good use and will be further seen on this channel when working on various stuff. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Check out my other videos, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.